Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight in Charlottesville, Virginia, and the local connection. Violent clashes left one woman dead and dozens more injured during a rally that at times turned into hand-to-hand combat. Then a man drove his car into a crowd in what the police chief in Charlottesville is calling a premeditated act. That driver, James Alex Fields Jr., is from Maumee. A huge rally by white nationalists protested that city's decision to remove a statue of Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Well, as you can see, fights broke out, but this afternoon a car registered to a man from Maumee plowed into a group protesting those white supremacists. Today, the governor of Virginia denounced the white nationalists, and President Donald Trump denounced the violence.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides.
Now, as we say, one woman was killed. 5 people are in critical condition. Now to James Alex Fields. He's 20 years old, has a Maumee address, and tonight he's in jail facing a variety of charges. His neighbors are reacting to what police say he did. Police in Charlottesville arrested James Alex Fields, the man they allege is behind the wheel running over a crowd of protesters. The Ohio license plate GVF1111 is registered to a James Fields. His address is this luxury apartment complex off of Deer Ridge Road. We walked up to the apartment, but nobody was home. We did talk to one neighbor, though, who tells us Fields lives with his mother. Others who live on this quiet alley did not know Fields or his mother, but they are shocked that their neighbor from Maumee would use a car as a weapon at a protest in Virginia.
Seems like a long way to go for that. I'm surprised that anybody does it anyway.
A 32-year-old woman was killed when the car rolled over her. Dozens of others were injured.
No matter what your views are to run people over, to have that kind of hatred, it's just unfortunate.
And then come to find out it may be a neighbor of yours.
That makes it even worse.
Fields was arrested at the scene. His 2010 gray Dodge Challenger, his weapon.
Goes to show there's some strange people out there, no matter where you go.
Police are now investigating this as a criminal homicide. And Fields could be in a lot of trouble here. He faces a suspicion of second-degree murder charge, along with 3 counts of malicious wounding, among other charges. He's being held tonight without bond. Ohio Governor John Kasich took to Twitter. He condemned this act, saying these groups are corrupting our country's greatness. America can and must be better. This violence and hate must stop. And Ohio Senator Rob Portman tweeted, "The tragedy in Charlottesville this afternoon was domestic terrorism. We must all condemn hatred and white nationalism." Now, a few hours after that attack, another tragedy connected to the protest. A helicopter crashed outside of Charlottesville, killing 2 troopers. Those officers were monitoring that rally. 48-year-old Lieutenant Jay Cullen and 40-year-old Burke Bates died in that crash. Of course, we are monitoring the story from both the local angle and the view from Virginia. We'll have the latest both on air and online at 13abc.com.
Next question for Bill Hormann. It is for Mayor Hicks Hudson.
Good evening, Madam Mayor. Before the primary, you held a press conference with an array of other elected women, encouraging women to vote for you because you're a woman. If Mr. Kapskavich had held a press conference asking men to vote for him because he's a man, he might have been called sexist. So my question is, how is Toledo served by trying to carve out special voting interest groups? And could that lead to a sense of a lack of unity and a lack of legitimacy in your government?
Amy, thanks. And the big race today in Toledo is between the 2 mayoral candidates. 13 ABC's Bill Hormann is with Mayor Paula Hicks Hudson's campaign tonight at UAW headquarters. Bill?
Diane, for the mayor, this is a huge test. Remember, she's run for mayor twice, in a special election and then in September's primary election. Neither time did she get 40% of the vote. 60% of those voters voted against the mayor. She needs to get 50% in order to keep her seat tonight. But we've analyzed this race, and we've come down with 3 advantages that each of these candidates may have tonight that could have their supporters feeling confident. For instance, for the mayor, Democratic Party endorsement, she has the money, the manpower, the apparatus, the data research that the party can provide. She's the incumbent. She's mayor. She can actually run for mayor while she's serving office as the mayor. And she, of course, has minority support, particularly in the central city, which she represented for years. And she also made a direct appeal to women who tend to vote in larger numbers than men. Now, Wade Kapsakavich, the challenger, he has some advantages as well. Considers himself the outsider. He's young, he's experienced at the county level, but he can also say that he's not to blame for any of the problems he sees in the city. He's done really well with fundraising. He's raised a lot more money than the mayor, can spend that money on TV ads and print ads, but big spenders do not always win races. And then there's the political mood. People are fed up with both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. Wade is not the endorsed Democrat, but he is still a Democrat. He's proud he didn't get his party's endorsement, though, because he feels that means he'll be unshackled as mayor and would only have to answer to the taxpayers. But let's look at this. Either way, a Democrat is going to be elected mayor here. There won't be much in the way of policy changes because their philosophy is the same. So, Lee and Diane, this mayor's race in Toledo could come down to personality. We'll find out how it comes down in just a few hours. Good evening. Big storms making news tonight, and that's where we start. There's damage to buildings, trees are down, tornado warnings posted in 3 counties at one time. We have a team of reporters tracking damage. Our weather team is also here, and we're following breaking news out of Texas tonight, where police say at least 27 people are dead, dozens more injured after a shooting in a church. We'll get to that story in just a minute, but first, Jay Burschbach and Ross Ellett tracking severe weather that's moving through the area. Gentlemen.
Coming up here in a few more minutes, Bill.
All right, thanks, Ross. Well, our team coverage continues with our reporters out in the field. Heavy winds caused some severe damage. One trouble spot in Vickery in Sandusky County. Meteorologist Ben Cathy rushed out there. He has more on what he has seen. Ben?
Burnett, 13 ABC, Action News.
More on that coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. We did talk to a spokesperson with ConAgra. We're told the company will not be in operation tonight, nor will it operate tomorrow. Findlay police dealing with a lot of damage down there. These are pictures from Ralphie's. The building sustaining serious damage from the high winds that blew through. The Findlay mayor's office issuing a statement tonight. The north side of the city of Findlay experienced significant damage during the storm. We are currently evaluating the situation. First responders are on the scene. The Hancock County Emergency Management Agency has been contacted. As more information is received, we will communicate further, says Mayor Lydia Mahalik. Residents in Wauseon also dealing with power outages and downed trees. In fact, officials say it is not safe for residents to leave their houses to start cleaning up just yet after a child was injured. 13 ABC's Heather Pauloff live with the latest on that. Heather.
We'll hear more from them tonight at 11 o'clock. Bill.
All right, Heather Pauloff reporting. Thanks, Heather. Storms, of course, knocked out power in several parts of the area. In Lucas County, for instance, some 2,200 customers sitting in the dark right now. Fewer people impacted up in Michigan. Only about 100 folks in Monroe County have no electricity. Hancock County Sheriff Michael, we're also getting reports of high water in Putnam County. As we get more information on that, we'll pass along to you both on air and online. We may talk to an emergency management official in just a few minutes, so sit with us. But now we want to turn to breaking news out of Texas. The First Baptist Church in Sutherland, Texas, the scene of the deadliest mass killing at a church in modern U.S. history. At least 27 people were murdered. ABC's Brian Clark says the gunman is dead.
So we begin our live team coverage with our political expert, Bill Hormann. He is live with Mayor Paula Hicks Hudson campaign. Bill?
Yeah, down here at Democratic Party headquarters in downtown Toledo. Anytime an incumbent mayor is on the ballot, the results are always a referendum on your job performance. What did tonight's results tell you about how you're doing?
I think it shows that folks see that the city is moving forward, that we've got jobs coming in, developments happening, streets are being fixed, water's safe to drink, and those are all the things that I've talked about for the 2.5 years since I've been mayor. And I believe that the voters understand that and want to continue with that vision that we have, and then also to expand that vision.
The latest numbers have you at 40% of the vote. The dark cloud to the silver lining is 60% of those who voted tonight did not vote for you. What does that tell you?
That tells me that I've got more work to do, and just to explain what has been happening and get them to understand the real story about Toledo.
Finally, it looks like it's going to be Wade Capps-Cavich who's your opponent. How do you campaign against another Democrat?
The same way I've always done, to tell my story, to tell the good news about what's happening in the city, and that, you know, that based upon what I've been able to do under the circumstances, that it makes sense to continue down that same road.
Quickly, does it ever surprise you a woman who really didn't want the job is now you fought twice for it?
Yeah. Well, I fought for it because I believe that the city needs the continuity. That's one of the criticisms that I think we've had in the past, because you've not had a mayor that has, other than Cardi Finkbeiner, to be able to succeed, to 8 years or longer than 4 years. And that continuity is what I believe will move the city forward.
All right, Paula Hicks Hudson, congratulations tonight. You'll finish definitely in the top 2, and we'll be with you the entire step of the way. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right, Lee Diane, back to you.